the folks from the department could answer this. When we speak about the objectives and obligations set out in the Canadian Net Zero Emissions Accountability Act, do those deal with the full life cycle emissions that take place from the start of the project until the end? As I've mentioned in many cases, if we're not going to speak about the actual emissions in the development, the building, the transportation, and everything else, then how does it really tie into a net zero emissions metric? And so that is my concern. We see these acts, we see the fancy names, but if no one can tell the proponents that actually they are doing something good for the planet and that they are actually changing, the amount of emissions that are taking place, if you're going to get the same amount except that you're paying somebody to put something else up, or you're going to have worse emissions, but you're paying somebody to work in a project, I'm concerned about what level of metrics are associated with the Canadian Net Zero Emissions Accountability Act and whether the things that I have just discussed are actually being looked at for each and every project that we might have.
Mr. Chair, thank you for your question. I hope that I followed it enough to be able to say that, unfortunately, I don't think your panel here from NRCan can answer that question. I really don't have any insight into specifically what's in that act that you reference. And
Who could we speak to? I mean, you're a department official, so you must have a network somewhere. Who could we speak to in order to get that type of information?
Just one moment. I'm going to chat here.
They say no one knows it.
Yeah, they have to measure everything, so you're right.
Yeah.
They probably would.
I'm sorry. I wish we had some insight. We'd have to come back. I mean, we could speculate. It seems like maybe it would be one of our, other departments that you would expect, but
and
we'll have to come
that.
back. I'm sorry.
Sure. Whether it be industry or whomever, I mean, we know that there is a footprint for anything that is out there. And I just hope that somebody is paying attention before we start jumping into how one project is better than another and that sort of thing. So thank you very much.